Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Laura, for those of you that do not know, and today we are finally talking about After We Collided. I'm kind of terrified to do this video. If you don't know me, if you just stumbled across this video, you may not know that I used to talk about After in literally every single one of my videos leading up to the first film coming out, and even some after. It was like all I talked about on my channel, and that's how I gained a lot of my following, is from talking about After. So it's something that I am pretty well versed in. Upon seeing the first movie, I didn't love it. It kind of made me drift away from the After fandom, but I know a lot of people still want to hear my thoughts on this second movie, which is why we're here today. If I'm being honest, I've kind of gone back and forth on how I want to present my thoughts on the movie. I watched it a few days ago, and I have a lot of feelings, but I think that I just owe it to you guys to be authentic and honest and just kind of bear it all and tell you my thoughts. I could definitely go in and like write notes and be very articulate about every little thing and be more organized, but I feel like you guys kind of like when I'm more just like off the top talking about whatever comes to my mind and just being completely authentic with it. So that's how we're gonna do this today. I'm nervous. I know that my feelings towards this film might piss some people off. I might make some people angry. I feel like when the first movie came out, a lot of people respected the fact that I was super authentic in how I talked about it and saying that it really did not live up to my expectations or the hype that I had created around it. And a lot of people agreed with me, and I think that was something that was kind of comforting amongst fans, is knowing that we didn't all think it was perfect. And I'm hoping to be that again today when talking about the movie, because I gotta be real, guys, I didn't love this movie. I didn't love this movie. It was okay. It had its moments, but I had some issues with it. And if I'm being quite honest, I'm not sure even which movie I like better, if I liked After more, if I liked After We Collided more. I don't know. I've been going back and forth a little bit. But it's hard for me to even say, because this movie, I had a lot of things with it that I just didn't quite like. I've been thinking a lot about if this review should be me comparing every little thing to the book, or if it should just be me talking about the film as its own thing. And I honestly think that my thoughts would be the same, so I'm probably going to address both of those sides. Starting with the film being accurate to the books, though, I think that a main issue that I had with the first film was the fact that we were constantly fed these lies about the movie having this scene or that scene. For example, like the English class scene, the lake scene. There were so many moments that before the movie came out, we were told, look, you're getting this in the movie. Isn't that so exciting? As a fan who loves the book series, it's so exciting to see that we're getting these things in the film. Then when you go watch the film, the scenes aren't the same. They're kind of dulled down versions of what we got in the book, but they also don't make a ton of sense. And so there's kind of this weird issue where it's like, you either need to stick to the scenes and stick to the story enough that the scenes make sense, or just completely get rid of the scenes, because what you're left with is a lot of confusion, I think. And that was a main issue I had with the first movie. It was like, they put the like bickering in class over Pride and Prejudice scene, but it doesn't really make sense. Like, it makes a lot more sense in the book, but they added that just to kind of like appease fans and make fans happy. But for me, it kind of did the opposite. It was like, where's the real scene? The scene holds no power in the film. That's how I felt about a lot of After We Collided. I feel like a lot of the promotion was centered around scenes that they thought we would pick up on, like the ice skating scene, the yoga scene, Tessa getting in the car crash. Like, there's so many scenes that you're like, oh my god, you recognize it, and you're like, that's from the book. But then when you watch it in the movie, they're actually nothing like the scenes from the book. And so it's kind of this weird middle ground where it's like, they included this because they know that we like these scenes, but if you're going to completely change the scene and take them out of context and then put them into the movie just to kind of appease readers, it makes no sense, and it makes the movie slow down, because they could be using those scenes that they're putting in to appease readers to actually move the story along and make it interesting, but they didn't do that. They put scenes in just to make us feel good about the fact that it's true to the book, but the scenes weren't even the same. Like the ice skating scene, the yoga scene, they weren't the same. So for me, I was just kind of like, this feels cheap. Like, I didn't like that they included the scenes. I wish that they almost just would have completely taken them out, and maybe focus on the characters more, which brings me to characters. For the first movie, obviously, because of the PG-13 rating, a lot of the characters and just kind of like the true being of who they are was very dulled down, Hardin and Tessa included. And obviously this movie was rated R, After We Collided, so they had this chance to kind of change up how the characters were. I don't know how to say this, so I'm just gonna say it however it comes out of my mouth right now. I think Josephine is so talented. I think she's a great actress. I don't know what they did with Tessa's character in this movie, because I don't know that Tessa. I don't know that Tessa Young. She was nothing like the first movie, and quite frankly, nothing like the book, in my opinion. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think that Hardin was a little more accurate to the book. However, people are gonna hate me. However, I didn't like Hero's delivery of Hardin. I didn't like it. I don't know if it was just the script. I don't know if it was the scenes they chose. I was not vibing with the Hardin in this movie. I really wasn't, and that was super disheartening. Not only were the scenes all completely different and just the film's whole essence was kind of off, but the characters were so off for me. Again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Some of you guys probably loved the characterization. You loved everything about it. For me, it just felt completely off. Starting with Tessa's first scene in the movie, coming into Vance late, screaming at people, being rude to Trevor, swearing. None of that is in book Tessa's nature. Even just when her and Hardin would get into little fights and she would get angry, we obviously see Tessa have that side a little bit further down into the after series, but to just see that complete switch, especially coming from the first movie where she's so sweet and kind and just timid, it made no sense. And you can kind of see what they're doing with it as a fan of the books. However, if you're somebody that has not read the books, going from the first movie to the second movie was probably the most confusing thing ever, and I'm so sorry to those people, because it doesn't follow suit. It doesn't make any sense. Obviously they made Hardin a little more angry and a little more aggressive, more swearing, all that kind of stuff, which I think works for Hardin, but they didn't do anything to make him feel like the Hardin we love. They gave him like the cold exterior, but they didn't give him what makes Hardin Hardin, which is like his sweet undertones and like the fact that he does little things for Tessa. And it was just like the most low effort Hardin Scott I've ever seen, who also just gets angry with Tessa so often and just like they get into fights. But we didn't get the side that I love about him, which is why I just didn't vibe with him. And to be completely honest, I just was not vibing with the way that Hero portrayed him at all. So there's that. The pacing of the film was just really confusing to me. Hardin and Tessa broke up and got back together like 3 times, which is very true to the book, but it doesn't fit for the movie. It just makes the movie feel super stagnant and like nothing's happening. It's very hard to pinpoint what the actual plot of this film was. And I feel that way about the books from time to time too, but I feel like there needs to be some type of like central, interesting plot. I didn't find what she did at Vance very interesting. It was very brushed over. I do enjoy those parts of the series, the book series. Like I love Kimberly and Vance. We didn't see them very often. Kimberly was very dulled down from how she is in the book series. Even the scene with Smith, it just didn't fit for me. Like I thought it was cute how they had to babysit him, like that happens in the book. But there's like a 2-sentence interchange between Smith and Hardin, and then they're like having a moment on the elevator, and it was like, this isn't even, like, why did they have a moment? There was like no context to the scene. Like it just felt very poorly executed and poorly done. I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about a lot of the scenes, just poorly executed, and that makes me sad. I don't like what scenes they decided to keep in. I feel like they could have done more with the plot of After We Collided to make the movie more interesting and like more action-packed, instead of just like keeping little scenes that they know the Afternators like, and then also making them break up and get back together. And also they don't even like address the bet that much. Like that felt weird to me. That felt weird to me. I think what it all comes down to is that this movie to me was just nothing like the book, and it's hard for me to let go of like wanting it to be like the book. I almost wish that they would just like keep all of the characters as accurate as possible and then like make a better suited plot for the movies to like make more sense, instead of trying to like create every little scene to be the same. Because if they did that, I feel like it would feel more like the authentic After that we love. It's just so hard to watch a movie where it's like, oh, like Hardin goes to the frat and like Molly, Steph, and Zed are there, but they actually have like no purpose to the film, but they're like key components to the books, like key components, so it just doesn't feel correct. Even Trevor, as much as I love Dylan Sprouse and I thought that he did a good job with the movie, his character, it made no sense in the context of the book. And they also tried to make him like this funny, like charismatic character, which it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I thought it added like a decent amount of comic relief considering there wasn't really much else going for the film. So I did enjoy those little moments, but still, it was just like, this is so inaccurate that it was kind of jarring. So I think that's what I mean when I'm like, why even include this? Like, why even have Steph and Zed exist as characters if nothing is done with their character? Why even have little scenes where it shows them? Because it doesn't even matter. I could see why some people are like, oh, but we love having like the little glimpses at like the book characters. For me, I'm like, why even include Zed and Steph if you're not going to follow their actual plots? Like, why even have them in the movie? Because then it just like adds more inaccuracy to the plot and like discrepancies between the book and the movie. I would rather them just be taken out of the movies completely if they're not going to be addressed as real characters. Like, there's no reason for them to be there and be like stand-in little side characters when they have essential plots in the book. Like, it just makes no sense. It makes no sense. I don't know if anyone is like vibing with what I'm saying or picking up what I'm putting down at all. I might just be like totally off base and everybody else loved the movie. I truly don't know because I'm not really like in the fandom anymore. So I have no idea if like people loved the movie, if they hated it, if they feel at all how I feel. But yeah, I don't know. It felt good to get that off my chest though. Like, the thing is, I can enjoy the movie for what it was, which was just like a cringy romance film, whatever. Like, I love the kissing booth just because it's like so cringe and so funny to me and just like hilarious, and it reminds me of reading Wattpad when I was 15, so I love it. I think the issue with After is that I was just so highly invested in the book series that it's hard for me to just like let that part of my life go and just watch the movie for what it is and not critique every little character and scene in accordance to the book, and that's like my own personal problem. But even so, if I was just looking at this film without the lens of being a fan of the book series, I just don't think it's that good. I don't think it's that good, and I'm sorry, but I can't lie. I really hope anybody's still watching. I truly, if you loved this movie, if you thought it was a good representation of the book as a fan, you're satisfied, I'm so happy for you and I'm so glad you liked it. I just wanted to share my own opinions on it and tell you guys how I'm feeling because I know so many people are wondering. But I'm so excited for you. If you love the movie and you're excited for the next ones, I think that's awesome and great, and I'm so excited for you. But this is just what I was feeling about it, and I wanted to get it out there and share with you guys. And if any of you guys do feel the same, let me know and we can talk about it. I think that's all I really have to say. I would be willing to do like a commentary video, actually watching the movie and commenting, if that is something you guys want, so you can see like more explicitly what I'm talking about. If that's something you want, I will do it, so let me know. But other than that, I think I'm gonna wrap up the review for today. Wow, I hope you guys liked this video. I know it was probably either shocking or like you saw it coming. So thank you for watching it either way. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did like it, and subscribe to my channel if you've not already. Other than that, we can talk on my social medias all the time on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me down below. Also, my Wattpad story and my TikTok are linked down there, so check me out there. But other than that, I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!